let's go back to the courtroom. This is one matter that we will bite tonight here. It's about one of the political parties that, I don't know if he has more legal problems than any of the other political parties like APC or PDP, but in the history of this political party, it has not been shy of having legal problems. Well, and it has its season. But today, the Supreme Court seems to have laid everything to rest and has upheld an appeal by the All Progressive Grand Alliance recognizing Mr. Sly Ezeokenwa as its national chairman. In a judgment today, the court also awarded a 20 million naira fine against Ojukwu for filing a frivolous suit at FCT High Court in Buhari. A few days ago, the Federal High Court in Abuja restrained Mr. Ojukwu from parading himself as the national chairman of the party. And don't forget that another court a few weeks ago had told Ezeokenwa not to parade himself as the national chairman of the party. But now, Justice James Omotosho, in a judgment, held that there was no valid court judgment or order, including a judgment from the Supreme Court that recognized Mr. Ojukwu as APGA national chairman. The man who perhaps will be beneficiary of today's decision of the Supreme Court is Mr. Sly Ezeokenwa, who has been affirmed today as APGA national chairman. He's live for us here in our Abuja studio. Thanks so much indeed for joining us.
Yes, thank you very much for having me.
Maybe congratulations in order.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you feel now that it does look for now the storm is over? Because for me, following the history of APGA,
yes.
I know that there is never a law when it comes to legal battle and tussle within that party.
Well, I must agree you have a point. APGA has had its own fair share of legal tussle, like you said, dating back to the times of Senator Victor Ume, when he was a national chairman, and then following the trajectory to the chairmanship of Dr. Victor Ikoye. And now, incidentally, I am just a victim in the crossfire, if I may use that word, because essentially there is really no issue surrounding the convention that brought me to office. The issue that was determined by the Supreme Court today essentially bordered on an issue or an intractable crisis that was fought between the former national chairman and Ezeokenwa. And gladly, the Supreme Court has brought that to an end today by saying unequivocally, confirming our position, which we have maintained from day one, that there was never a time the Supreme Court pronounced Chief Ezeokenwa as a national chairman of APGA. And then graciously as well, the court seemed to have vindicated the position of Honorable Justice J.K. Omotosho last week, where he stated clearly that I was validly elected the national chairman of APGA, and that I, alongside others that were elected with me, are the only people who can validly, carry on the activities and functions of the national officers of APGA. So that's the position today, and we are very much grateful. Like I said, when at the end of the judgment, my appreciation note, I commended judiciary. Incidentally, I'm a lawyer, I'm a minister in the Temple of Justice, and for me, I have unshakable confidence in the nation's judiciary, especially the Supreme Court. And today they proved us right again.
I don't know what exactly has been the fundamental issue. From the time of Chekwa Sokori, when he stepped away from, I remember, from the party. I remember when Victor Ume took over, and when he comes into the studio, Victor Ume will literally spread all the court papers on the table, and there was that popular saying that there were three factions of APGA. Yes. There is the APGA, the APGA PDP, and the APGA ACN.
And that tells you the nature of the problem we've been facing. Because most of these problems are sponsored.
By who?
Yeah, I would say political gladiators, and I call them political merchants. You see, there are people who believe that politics is not an instrument or an avenue to serve the people. For them, politics is just a means to enrich themselves. And so, when the time comes, they go shopping for court orders from various parts of the country just to take over the leadership of the party. And they're not doing it to advance the interests of the party. They are not doing it to advance the interests of Nigerians. For them, it is about lining their pockets. And APGA as a political party, which I call the Progressive Movement, is a party that we know the members of the party. And the members of the party are always intact. They are not interested in all the shenanigans of all these political merchants, as far as we are concerned. So the real members of the party, the real party faithfuls will always be with the popular leadership of the party. And so what you see are just few individuals, few, I wouldn't want to call them disgruntled elements, who always try to look for loopholes where they can come in to hijack the leadership of the party. But we are undeterred, we are focused to move the party forward.
But I mean, if you look at it historically speaking, and I can say because I've also been monitor and covered those history of APGA. And I mean, you remember when Chef Kwasokori left APGA for APGA, and Victor Ume came from at some point also. There were issues with Victor Ume until Victor Oye came, and there's always been an issue, and it's always about the processes leading to the election of the leadership of the party. Why has it always been a difficult? Because your party is not a very large party in that sense, in the sense that the APGA always had one state it governs. But it has more problem, in fact as big as the other political parties that have 15, 16 other states. Why has it always been a problem that your party cannot conduct a simple convention, congresses, and which has always brought this problem? Because there's always been a problem of imposition of leadership.
No, I don't agree with you when you talk about imposition of leadership.
No. That's always been the fight.
Anybody can go to court and make any allegation, any frivolous allegation. But when you talk about imposition of leadership, it presupposes that the leadership came in place contrary to the provisions of the Constitution. Mind you, a political party, the members, the organs, are clearly outlined in the Constitution of the party. And the mode of assumption of office clearly outlined in the Constitution of the party. And I don't think that we've had a time when any leadership of the party has come about as a result of usurpation of the provisions of the Constitution. No, I'm coming.
For example,
that's why I said.
So maybe there is a moment for your party and those who lead the party to sit down, take a rethink and look at the processes altogether. What was the position of Victor Oye in the party before he became national chairman? Sorry, just a moment. The allegations about from the likes of Edoze Njoku, the likes of Chekwa Sokori, has always been that the governor has done that.
That's why I said so anybody can make any allegation. That's the problem. The problem is someone comes, decides to toe a convenient path and makes an allegation to substantiate whatever convenient party wants to do. The question, when you meet and consult the real members of the party, you won't see them challenge decisions of the party because these are decisions taken at a national convention. And mind you, the Supreme Court has come out in various cases to say that the issues bordering on the internal affairs of a political party are not justiciable. Now, I can tell you, part of the reason why it seems that this problem is quite peculiar to APGA is that you can't try such, let me use the word rubbish, in the ruling party where you have the president. But because they see that APGA probably is a party controlling just one state, someone sitting in the comfort of his bedroom thinks, oh, we can take away the leadership of the party just to reach our inordinate end.
But now that
and that is the problem. So when you talk about when you talk about, you see, when you talk about the disease and all whatnot, I keep telling you, APGA as a political party is one. You mentioned two individuals, Chekwa Sokori and Edozie Njoku. I've said it consistently, even in this studio. If you go to their respective wards, these men are not members of the party. It is unfortunate that this issue has lingered and dragged up to this point. At the last we know, You and I know that Chekwa Sokorie, at a point, was the national chairman of a particular political party. I think it was UPP. Thereafter, he resigned and joined, I think it was the ruling party. The next thing we heard of him was that he was claiming to be the presidential candidate. So how do you blame APGA for such kind of madness? We had an individual, Ezeokenwa, who all of a sudden just woke up and said that he conducted convention in a particular location. How do you blame APGA? When the party gave notice to INEC, stated clearly where the convention will be held. All the members of the party were there, the delegates, the BOT members, the national officers, the members of the House of Assembly, the only governor that we had at that time, the deputy governor, every distinguished personality in the party were there at that convention.
Mr. Ezeokenwa, there are those in your party
who
blame Soludo,
yes,
for his incapacity to play politics that will properly handle the politics of the party. Is it now a reality that you cannot sleep? You want to be a governor and not play the politics of your party?
Now, I can tell you.
Is it now a reality?
I can tell you, like I said, anybody can wake up and make any allegation. Let me tell you what the problem is. When you see all these individuals calling Governor Soludo. Soludo is not an officer of the party. He's national leader of the party. And by virtue of being the governor of Anambra State, it is the duty of the party to support him to ensure good governance to the people of Anambra State. That is our only interest. That's our only mission. And now you see some individuals who believe that because APGA is the platform through which he got to the office as the governor of Anambra State, that it is for him to dip his hands into the coffers of the state and begin to settle them. And when he does not do that, they begin to look for one shortcut order or the other to make sure that they destabilize the system. Are these the individuals that we should be discussing?
So it's about the money of Anambra
Absolutely.
State.
That is the only problem.
And Soludo is not willing to give
out the money. That is the only problem. That is the only problem.
Not because of the process.
That is the only problem. When you see them previously, they said, oh, when you talk about the processes, for example, like I said, I was elected the national chairman on the 31st of May 2023 in a convention duly monitored by INEC, televised by your own station. There was no problem. And then someone who had an issue with the former national chairman after the tenure in question had elapsed, approached another court to seek for reliefs. And then when INEC purportedly gave him recognition, the next thing he started calling the governor. What business do you have with the governor of Anambra State, who knows clearly, as the national leader of the party, attended a convention, knows who the party elected, and you expect him to come and part with the resources that he's supposed to bring about development in Anambra State?
Mr. Sly,
it's not going to work.
How do you handle the internal affairs of your party going forward from today now? Because in the emergence of in that time that the court says Ojukwu is the national chairman of the party, there are definitely structures that he has also built within the party. The party was factionalized along that line. How do you build or rebuild the party in that particular situation?
I'm going to answer this question with 2 points, or just to debunk 2 points. First, no court ever pronounced Ezeokenwa as national chairman. That was the purport of the judgment of Honorable Justice Omotosho last week. The question we submitted, we said, look at all these judgments. Is there any pronouncement by any court? And the answer was in the negative. So the issue of being pronounced by a court is a misnomer that should actually be debunked, and that's what we are doing. And the court has given judgment to that effect. That is one. The second one is the fact that I keep repeating it, that APGA is not factionalized. When you talk about faction, you must talk about a division within the ranks of the party. Not when you have individuals, strangers, aliens to the affairs of the party coming up to lay any claim. That is not factionalization as far as I'm concerned. But then, I must admit that in the course of all these issues, there are genuine members of the party who apparently were confused, especially when recognition was accorded to the individual in question. And for us, the ultimate decision that the party has taken is to close ranks. We are one. as far as we are concerned, APGA is one united, indivisible family. And that irrespective of whatever side you took, I have declared today after the judgment that for me, it is a case of no victor, no vanquished. Everybody should return to his position. All the members of the party should remain calm.
Do you think that the storm is over, finally?
Absolutely, the storm is over.
Let me tell you.
I was in the court today, and you need to listen, or you needed to have listened to the judgment of the Supreme Court. In fact, the Supreme Court came hard on the people they call desperate politicians who are trying to destabilize the country and the political parties. Because the moment you destabilize the political parties in the country, you're destabilizing the country. Because the only avenue through which you can ascend to political power is through an election sponsored by a political party. And so these issues were settled by the court. And as far as we are concerned, anybody is free. The courts of the country are free. Anybody can go and file any suit. But as far as we are concerned, we are moving forward. We have an agenda. If you recall, when I was about to assume office, we designed a template, an agenda which we call the Drive Agenda, which for us was a comprehensive roadmap to make sure that APGA is a formidable political party. Remember that APGA was formed in 2002. And as far as we are concerned, APGA has not really lived up to the expectation. And we are trying as much as possible to go back to the drawing board, look at the agenda of the founding fathers of the party, see, does it align with the realities of the modern day Nigerian? And then what part of our ideology can we shake to meet up the expectations of Nigerians? That's what we are doing.
Yeah, is the party still sort of branded as to have a feel to represent the voice of the Southeast?
No, not at all. And incidentally, I granted an interview, I think it was 2 days ago, and I tried to x-ray the issues that led to the formation of the party. And that was why he had that appeal to the people of the Southeast, who then were complaining about marginalization within the scheme of affairs of our country. Now, part of what we are doing in the Drive Agenda is an expansion program. And that expansion program is to open up the party to every member or every citizen of the country, to take the party to every nook and cranny of the country, to make sure that the party contests meaningfully for every political post or every election. And in doing that, that's why I said we're trying as much as possible to re-x-ray the ideologies of the party. If you look at Nigeria today, you will see that APGA is the only political party, and I say that with every sense of responsibility, that seems to have an answer to the myriads of the problem bedeviling this country. And I say that every time. If you look at our ideology, one of the issues we propose is that if, peradventure, we find ourselves to the seat of power in this country, one of the things that we are going to ensure is true federalism. Proper devolution of powers between the federal government and the federating unit. Because we believe that power is concentrated so much in the center, and that has stunted development across the various federating units.
Odumegwu Ojukwu may be dead.
Yes.
But it does look like he's still being seen as the ambassador and the face of APGA. And a lot of people who have won elections or who have run for election on the platform of APGA, you will see their billboards, especially in the southeast part of the country, using Ojukwu's face to campaign.
Yes.
How much of significance is Ojukwu to APGA? Can you win an election without an Ojukwu's face?
I don't think that question is really necessary.
No, but that, isn't that the reality?
I'll tell you why.
Is it true or not that Ojukwu's face is always on the billboard each time? And even in the Ankara materials, in the uniform that APGA members and supporters always wear, is that not the fact?
No. I can tell you something. You see, if you follow the genesis of the formation of the party, you will see that Ojukwu played a pivotal role in APGA.
In the formation of
the party. And was our first presidential candidate. And I can tell you that it was the personality, the distinguished personality of Ojukwu that resulted with the electoral success that the party recorded upon formation, not minding the brazen manner that the 2003 elections were rigged across the country. I believe APGA performed better than the results that were released or declared by INEC. So you can't take away the very distinguished position that Ojukwu attained for APGA. And that's why till today we venerate him. But the fact remains that APGA today is, because when you try as much as possible to continue to associate the party with the ideals of Ojukwu, we can't take away, what he did for the party in the past. But if you want to appeal to the sentiments of other sections of the country, then you have to build the party as a party that has the answer to the myriads of the problem that the country is facing today, not about an individual.
Is your party ready to open up to the extent now that you have a Bianca Ojukwu?
Yes.
Serving in the Tinubu government?
Absolutely.
How much of an advantage or benefit could that be for your party?
I can tell you, I've said it severally. I called on the president and I commend him for that appointment. You see,
is Bianca Ojukwu a member of APGA?
Of course, she's a member of APGA. She's a BOT member of the party. To date, she's not resigned her membership of the party, and she had that appointment as a member of the party. Did
she get the permission of your party too?
Definitely. We gave her the nod to because we believe. I called severally after the president was elected. One of the earliest calls I did to the president is to ensure, now that you've won the election and the Supreme Court has affirmed your election as the president of Nigeria, it is now time to close ranks, because the people that can help you solve the problem or achieve your manifesto for the country are not domiciled within your party. You have technocrats that are in other political parties. And I called on the president to make sure, because the moment you elected a president, you're no longer the president of your party. You're a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which includes every opposition party. And for us, I've said it severally, that my preoccupation as a leader of a political party is to ensure that President Tinubu succeeds, because the interests of Nigerians are paramount. So it's not about which party the president belongs to. So the appointment
of Bianca, an APGA member in the Tinubu government, is a plus for your party?
Absolutely. Absolutely. As far as I'm concerned, it's a plus for our party, because our party is ready to play an inclusive governance. It's a governance where, if you have people, the technocrats or the people who have the wherewithal to contribute to the meaningful development and advancement of the country, why not?
Let me anchor this interview on this note. There are those who believe that Soludo's re-election might be problematic and that there is a downward political appeal that is had with the people of Anambra State, and that's why some of these issues politically are coming up. Why is Soludo's chance, or what is leading to that conversation about dwindling political acceptance of Chukwuma Soludo as the governor of Anambra State?
The problem is you make so many speculations that I don't know where you get from. Certainly, this speculation cannot be from Anambra State.
Speculations. No, that's what you know that if I ask you a question, it's deep.
No. I can tell you.
What your people are saying.
I can tell you
on the ground.
When you say your people,
close your ears to them.
No. When you say your people, what you need to do is you sample an opinion. Go to the streets of Anambra State. Who are you telling that Soludo's political thing are dwindling? The people of Anambra State. Is it the people of Oka North?
It's for you
or the people of Agwasa, or the people of Orumba North, Orumba South.
That really is
I don't have anything to prove. I don't have anything, absolutely nothing to prove.
Is there a threat to Soludo's re-election?
And there's absolutely no threat. Even though Soludo has not told you that he's seeking re-election.
Oh, he doesn't want to.
I'm telling you.
Has he told you that he's not seeking?
He has not told you. But the fact remains that what we are discussing today, the achievement of the solution government in Anambra State, and it's a government that we are proud of. I've said this severally, that is our greatest asset, because what APGA stands for is the governance that takes care of the most vulnerable in the society, because that's the essence of being your brothers and sisters keeper, leaving no one behind. And that is the essence of the progressive government we are running in Anambra State. So the solution government is a government that is deeply embedded in progressivism. And I see no reason why anybody in his right senses or element will come out and tell you that Soludo's political fortune is dwindling. I think that must be an allegation conjured somewhere from the moon. doesn't face the reality in Anambra State. Go to the streets of Anambra.
Well, sometimes the ears of the politicians are deaf to their own matters. so when you don't hear it, and some of us
for someone like me,
yeah.
I am a deep player in the politics of Anambra State.
So you are not seeing or feeling the political storm that is brewing already in Anambra State.
If Soludo declares for governorship,
for re-election.
If that's what I'm saying, if he declares for re-election eventually, then the election is won.
There's no contest.
Absolutely.
Not in APC.
No contest.
Not in PDP.
We don't have APC in Anambra State.
No APC?
No, it does not exist.
With the likes of Senator...
Senator who?
What's her name now?
You talk about late Senator Ifeanyi Uba incident. That was the only because the 2023 election, APC did not win any seat. Not one.
Not even Labour Party.
No. When you talk about Labour,
in Anambra State, no force. Even with the Peter Obi effect.
Don't bother about that. We are not. You see, Anambra. You see, Anambra. In 2017, Anambra is a very unique and peculiar state. In 2017, Peter Obi stood behind a PDP candidate. I'm not trying to diminish the personality and the status that Mr. Peter Obi has attained in the country. And mind you, I say it everywhere I go. Whatever qualities you ascribe to Peter Obi today were as a result of his performance as the governor of Anambra State on the platform of APGA. Not on the platform of PDP, neither on the platform of Labour. And so if you say that Peter is a model of governance, then it's a plus for APGA, not for any other political party. That's why I tell you that we don't have any opposition.
But he moved for PDP eventually.
Yes, of course he's
but the question, the truth is that even if Peter Obi raises the hand of anyone, they cannot defeat.
Let me answer that question in a very simple terms. He has raised hands twice, 2017, 2021. None of them won even one local government. And I think that should be the end of this conversation.
Sly Ezeokenwa. I love when politicians are very confident. I love also when I'm being challenged that, what do you say? Conjecture. We hear that a lot as journalists. Well, that's our job, to be able to put those questions through. Thank you so much, indeed, Sly Ezeokenwa.
Thank you very much.
APGA National Chairman. Congratulations again on your victory at the Supreme Court. We take a break, everyone, and I'll take you to the southern part of the country. There's also trouble brewing. This one again is another legal trouble. It's in Osun State, in the home of the dancing governor. What is it about this time around? We'll be finding out after now. Join us again.